Dear beloved Creator of all that is, as we travel on our journey, we are offered choices. Go here, go there, and so it goes, life choices. Then we come to a T in the road. Turn right, go left. So there we are at the junction. The T in the road, removed, brings us here. No longer there, having made our choice, we're fully here. We're here in all our conscious presence. We're here to answer the call, to do what our spirit has led us to do. We are our own jurisdiction, our own state of being. In our fullness as co-creator of each moment, we are here. Here is where we ultimately come to home and heart and presence of mind and right action, and all in the name of love and that of our Creator. And so it is.
Thank you, Charlie.
My pleasure.
My name's Ron Vroman. I'm the old white man talking head for the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly. And I'm here today to speak to you about several things that need to be cleared up, and persons or people are not doing it. So I'm going to call them out. And that's just the way it is. Um, People testify. When somebody says to you, as a man or a woman, in the de jure, to make an affidavit of truth, you say no. I testify. I make living testimony in the form of an affidavit of truth. There's a difference. Words really have meaning. So, people testify. Persons can make an affidavit and be an affiant because they accept being their all cap name in the de facto society that's being run by the bar. Now, if they choose that, that's up to them. They can be a U.S. citizen. Now, all the people that join the military become persons and become GI, government issue. They become members of the United States military. The United States is a foreign nation to Oregon. Oregon and 32 other states make up the several states of the Union. It all came about because in the Articles of Confederation and Perpetual Union, the first constitution or the first draft of free men on the land of the 13 colonies, they wrote up articles, and it was for a confederation and perpetual union. That's what it was. It was a confederation and perpetual union. And those 13 states, some of them were commonwealths, all agreed to run the United States, and they named it the United States of America. Anything else is not us in our entirety. That's the only way. When you see United States of America without a capital TH in front of it for thee, that's not us. That's something else. That's subterfuge. That's them trying to do their best to fool and deceive you. That's how it is. Can't change the facts. So, the Congress assembled under the Articles of Confederation and Perpetual Union formed together and made a constitution. However, they did it. There's a lot of heartache, blood, sweat, and tears going into stealing by force 13 colonies from the strongest, most powerful man on earth, the King of England, and they did it. However, not everybody was happy with that situation. There were a lot of people on the land that were peaceful inhabitants. They still wanted the king, but they weren't going to fight anybody. So they got to stay. It was like a fifth column within the nations. All of the states had all of these people that would rather be with the king and they weren't. And that took years to get away from. So these 13 delegates, and there was a bunch more than 13, these delegates from the 13 states wrote a constitution and they sent 13 copies to all of the 13 states. I have a FOIA request in now. I want to know the name of the man that wrote all 13 duplicate copies of the Constitution that could be authenticated as original and sent to the states for an up or down vote. There was no discussion on it. You were either in or you were out. 12 came back with their ratified constitution. Rhode Island stayed out for a long time, but they eventually ratified and came back. Now, those 13 documents are the ratified Constitution of the United States. All 13 of them have to go together. Imagine a loose leaf binder, and all 13 of them are in there. That's the proof that we are the United States of America. Without that, you don't have proof. So, what we're talking about now is there is one Constitution with 13 original copies of it, and that goes to make the United States of America's Constitution. There isn't any other. Now, the United States as a business entity, a corporate entity, a government hired by the several states to run the business of government as they are directed. And they have enumerated responsibilities. They have no power. All power is inherent in the people. Article 1, Section 1 of Oregon's Constitution, and it's in every other constitution that there is among the 33 states and 17 territories. Now, people say, there's 50 states. Well, there's law and there's color of law. Color of law is what we've been under in a benevolent form of martial law since March 1861. Now, all over our 33 states and 17 territories, we have sheriffs, like 3,000 of them. That's how many counties there are. Ohio has 88 counties, Oregon has 36. There's 3,000 and change among all of the states and territories. 2 states do not have sheriffs, Alaska and Rhode Island. The biggest and the smallest don't have sheriffs. Everybody else has got a sheriff for their county. Well, all across the United States of America, we have sheriffs standing up and saying, no, not on my county. That takes incredible courage. They're going against most of their state and most of all the other states because the deep state, the de facto color of law governance, has been in power since 1861, federally. On Oregon, November 8th, 1910. And one of our sheriffs stood up, a young man out in Union County. I get choked up, I'm sorry. Candy ass that I am. Anyhow, he wrote a letter and published it. And we called him, several of us called him to get an appointment, and he called Cynthia back. And we went to see him because he made an appointment. And it was incredibly good. We did well. So did he. In any case, we provided him with 2 hours of conversation and facts. We don't deal in bullshit. We deal in paper that states the facts, and we provide that information to FBI, DOJ, State of Oregon governors, Secretary of State, sheriffs, district attorneys, you name it, they know it. We don't keep any secrets. We're coming for you, all of them. We're taking them out. All power is inherent in the people. I wish I had my business card because I'd read it right now. Maybe I do have it. Yep. Article 1, Section 1. We declare that all men, when they form a social compact, are equal in right, that all power is inherent in the people, and all free governments are founded on their authority and instituted for their peace, safety, and happiness. They have at all times a right to alter, reform, or abolish the government in such manner as they may think proper. It's mindset. If you think you can, you can. You may fail, but if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you're right. You can't. But it's mindset. We in the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly have made our mindset that all power is inherent in the people. So then we wrote a piece of paper up and notified all of those that the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly was Article 1, Section 1 of the Oregon Constitution, and we gave them 7 days, 14 days, and 21 days to rebut that statement or acquiesce and default. They acquiesced and default. We are Oregon's people in our Jural Assembly. Nobody has taken the time to rebut that station. Now, I didn't say that we were all of the people, but we are the people. There's differences. Words really are important. So earlier, I stated that there's only one Constitution, and it's made up of 13 individually ratified duplicates of the Constitution. And then it's been ratified. No, it's been modified by amendments and changed by additional states. It's like if you have a mortgage and somebody else comes onto the mortgage and they become a party to the contract. The original contract has changed. There are more involved in it. So it's a new contract. And that's what the Constitution was made to be. Every time it was changed, it became a new Constitution, and the one before the change became an artifact. Nowhere in any ratified document is there a preamble. People want there to be a preamble. It sounds so nice and it's so good, and I don't have a problem with it other than people want to think it has something to do with law, and it doesn't. Those are nice words meaning whatever they mean, placed into the Constitution for whatever purposes they were placed there unlawfully. However much you like it, however much you want it to be there, however much you say that preambles have been around for 1,000, it doesn't make any difference. The facts are the facts. There is no preamble other than in color of law. So We have people and we have persons. And we have persons that are acting like people. When you're a person, you're in the de facto. You're a member of the United States. You're no longer a free man or a free woman on the land with all of your unalienable rights. You become a U.S. citizen and you get to have privileges of being a U.S. citizen, whatever they are, whatever they want to give you, or you can be an American on your state. In my case, Oregonian. It's all up to you. It's mindset. You find people following others in this rabbit hole that we're in looking for a constitutional Republican form of government. That's the goal. The goal is not to uh, rescue children from being made victim by pedophilia. That's not the goal. That's something to strive for along the way. The goal is not to not pay taxes because income tax is not lawful. That's not a goal. That's a distraction. The goal is not to travel freely around the United States without a driver's license. That's a distraction. Doesn't have anything to do with the situation that we're dealing with. All power is inherent in the people, and if by now you don't realize that the government we have needs to be changed out, I don't want to deal with you. I just want you to go away. You are not party to this contract. You are a peaceful or unpeaceful inhabitant that has nothing to do with law. You're dealing in color law. And that goes for Anna von Ritz, who says there are three constitutions and can't prove anything. You ask her for proof and she has none. I've argued with her lots of times, and she argues and she calls names and she puts up videos and she does a lot of stuff, but where's the proof? Where is the information that supports your statement? We support everything we do with documentation, and we file all our documentation. And she doesn't have anything that I can find. Then we come to a guy named Keith Livingsway. I ran into him years ago, and he said his group got the Articles of Confederation and Perpetual Union from the Navy at an auction, as it was no longer a needed document. And he was going to alter it and make it better. And that was the basis of his group, the TRO, the Reign of Heaven. That's wrong. He says that they get people out of jail, but then they are unable to provide any supporting evidence for that. That's how it goes. It's not true unless you can support your claim. Then there's a guy named John Durash, National Liberty Alliance. A bunch of us joined it because he was going to put a grand jury on every county. In every county, all 3,000 plus in the United States, we were going to have a common law grand jury where we could have all powers inherent in the people. Government only has enumerated responsibilities. But then John got way down the road, and there was lots of us in that group. And then he said, we're not really going to have a grand jury on every county. What we're going to do is we're going to teach people how to do it for themselves. And he took all the leadership away from putting a grand jury on every county and put it into teaching people how to do it. Well, there's damn few people that will actually do the work. The Pareto distribution. Uh, Jordan Peterson talks about it. And in a group that has a population of whatever, it's been found that the square root of that population, that group, does 50% of all the production. If you have 10 people, then 3 of them are doing 50% of all the production. If you have 100 people, then 10 of them are doing 50% of all the production. That's the way it is. Not many people will stand up. We've had a lot of people stand up. They get feeling patriotic and they sign the paperwork and they put their red thumbprint and they get 2 people to uh, witness their signature, and they are lawfully free men and women without the United States. They are without the United States and within their state and within the United States of America. That makes a difference. Then they go home and they don't think about it again. And they deal with all of their problems. Kids wearing masks, people wearing masks, taking the jab, not taking the jab. They have life to live and they're doing the best they can, but they don't wind up having very much time to do all the work required to maintain Oregon as a free state. And that's hard work. We got one sheriff that stood up. Now we have 5 sheriffs that stood up, 5 out of 36. We got to get a lot more sheriffs to stand up and be men. And I think there's even a female sheriff or 2. But we've got to get to the point where we, the people that are on Oregon, can find the energy to do the work, to take back our state, and to reconstitute a constitutional Republican form of government. I don't know how to go about it any other way than what we're doing. We go to meetings, we go to rallies, we go anywhere where like kind people such as ourselves hang out and get our message across to people that think like we do. I don't find it beneficial to try and go change Antifa or Black Lives Matter people into thinking like we do. I think that's a waste of time. I think if somebody's borderline and doesn't know which way to go, leave them alone. If they're for us, they'll find their way to us. That's the truth. Going out and trying finding them among all of the persons out there isn't going to work. But if you wait till they all gather in Oregon City or Salem or wherever they gather, and then ask them if they really know how to do what they want to do, and if they want to learn, and if they're willing to put forth the effort. Being free is not free. It takes a lot of time and a lot of energy. There's a fellow on Oregon that helped us tremendously. I won't say his name. If he gave me permission, I would. He's quite a guy. Anyhow, he came and signed a document in Salem when we convicted the legislature. And then he called me up and he says, I'd like to help you guys. What can I do? And boy, I have 100 things he can do. We need 36 sheriffs to be called and talked to. We need 36 DAs to be called. and talked to. And he said, no, I can't do all that. Do you need money? Well, hell yeah, we need money. We never solicit funds. We never pass the hat. We don't sell T-shirts or coffee cups. And when we need something, we say we need something among ourselves. And William needed $300 and change for a PA system. And I think it took him a half hour after he said how much it was and he had the money. And we're not rich people. We're just plain old folks. But this guy says, money. Okay, what are you talking about? He says, how would you like 20 grand? Hot damn. So he wrote us 4 checks, 5,000 apiece, and we cashed them. And we have enough money to finance ourselves. Bless that man. That's hard stuff. In any case, what we're doing here is bringing forth a constitutional Republican form of government on Oregon. And you can do it on your state in 21 days. It took us 2.5 years. And that's about it for me. I could go more, but not today. Thank you all very much. Bless you. See you in Oregon City tomorrow. I'm out.
They do not want to let go of this. They do not intend on losing here. And we do not intend giving it back to them.
And then the bullets started flying. Then he jumps out of the car. And he's got both his hands up. And he got out of the car, and he had his hands in the air. He's like, just shoot me then. This is what you want, just shoot me. And they did. They shot him dead. With his hands in the air, and I saw it. I swear to God. He was just walking with his hands in the air. And they shot him. And they shot him dead, and then after he was down on the ground, they shot him 3 more times.